Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Niges View on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. It's been quite some time since I last made a video, and that is actually quite a bit of a lie because I made one the other day. Just in case you haven't been notified or actually haven't seen it, I'll leave the links to that in the description box down below. Nice and simple for everybody to find. And we're going to be talking about a couple of bits in there because I've come across something that I think you might find quite interesting. Anyway, the reasons behind why I haven't been making videos I'll get into at a later stage. Not today, but the end result was I needed to walk away. I needed my own time. I needed to get my head together. I hope you understand. We need to be logical about what we're looking at, and that is the most important thing, because around the world there is a lot that is going on. I think you can agree. Not everything is black and white, but logic will win the day. It doesn't matter what you believe, whether the earth is flat, domed, or space doesn't exist. Did you actually come to that conclusion? Did somebody tell you? Have you actually questioned it? Because what we're told, a lot of it, is a lie. Many people out there are clouding the waters with these strange ideas. But who's right and who's wrong? If you think with logic, it tells us everything we need to know. Anyway, for the last couple of minutes you've been looking at the background and you've been asking yourself, what are we looking at? Let me tell you the story behind what we are actually looking at. We're looking at a black plastic bag. There was 3 of them. I was spraying. This was the bag that was at the back, so I was spraying silver, and what we're looking at is overspray, nothing more. But very, very interesting, I think you can agree. Pareidolia. We get to see things in pictures that really shouldn't be there, and this is not a picture, this is just overspray. I think you can agree, a very interesting accident. Jumping back to my last video, if you haven't seen it, like I say, links below. This is very, very important because it goes hand in hand with something that I showed. I'd like to give a shout out to NIBIRU Action. Thank you very much for letting me use your clip. The links to his channel in the description box down below. Go over, share the love, and say hello. He does an excellent job in getting it out there, like so many other channels, showing things that really shouldn't be on camera in the sky. And yeah, any rate, I like what they've put underneath here. NIBIRU Cataclysm. Maybe I'll just edit that. The clip starts at 4 minutes and 38 seconds, and we're going to have a look. And, of course, it's just a lens flare. Of course it is. So here's a quick clip from my video from last time. And as you can see up here, Black Mountain, USA, 22nd of August 2019, stating the obvious. Down here, this is from the Netherlands. Links to his channel in the description box down below. Links for everything that I'm talking about down below. Yeah, down below it is. Any rate, looking at this picture here, we're not looking at planets, because if we were looking at planets this size in our sky, it would cause us problems. We can feel the results of those, but what we're actually looking at is a complex system of lenses in the sky. I'm just showing you that there shouldn't be things in the sky, and really, if you're getting 2 cameras seeing the same thing in different places around the world at different times, it tells you it's got to be there. Of course it has. Lens flares, nothing more. I'm not really too sure whereabouts this is. It says Summit Southeast, time and date up the top there. And you can see our sun simulator. Our sun simulator is white. Our sun is still there in the sky. No sun, no life. The sun simulator is there for a different reason. That's what many people just don't get. Oh, the sun simulator, it doesn't give off any heat. No, it doesn't give off any heat. What it gives off is very bright white LED light. You get that blue, that was easy for me to say, you get that blue hue like you do on the car headlights when you're driving down a road. Very, very bright, very, very annoying. And we can see that the sun simulator's there because we've got that black dot. Oh, sorry, it's a CMOS camera overload. My mistake. And as the next picture comes, we can see that we're getting something growing here, and what we're looking at here and here is a projected image of a lens system, and it's very, very similar to a lens flare, but it works in a different pretense. The two are very, very similar. Like I say, a lens flare, light source goes one way, the lens flare will do the opposite direction. But with these projected images, what you get is the light source going one way and these images going the same way, so they don't actually act like a lens flare. Oh, that was so confusing. At any rate, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes these objects don't even move because they're there. This is the pivot point, and you'll get to see what I'm saying. There is a lens flare just there. We can see these lenses, and like I say, they're not there. What is there is most probably just there. They're just being projected backwards onto the lens of the camera. A very, very complex system of lenses. And we get to see that rainbow effect there, being projected from that direction. So we're looking at 3 cameras around the world showing the same thing, that there shouldn't be things in our sky. I like to see how people will go, yes, we're looking at a lens flare, Nige. Well, that tells me that's a lens being projected, and just there, and just that is most probably there. Not really too sure. It would be interesting to see if we could see it, but not being there, I'm not really too sure if you could. But the camera is just good enough to pick it up. Digital cameras are really, really great. 5th lens, when somebody actually designed this system, did they actually make a mistake, or were they trying to show the world there is something there?
In order to get this to work, you can't just use one lens, but you have to use 4 lenses. And you just set them up according to this equation and their focal points. So this focal point is our invisibility point. But then as you keep going, in order for the background to not look distorted, you have to recorrect the light that you made diverge right there. But the problem is that the image is now flipped 180 degrees. Okay, so watch as I dangle something in front of the lens, how it just disappears.
So now you can see how the system works, or how I believe it works. There's 4 lenses, and credit to the Action Lab. Go over, subscribe, does some amazing work on light. Might explain a few things that we're seeing in our skies, but that actually explains why we're getting to see a multitude of projected images in our sky. And when I'm talking about the 5th lens, I'm talking about the camera itself. It actually allows us to see something in the sky that shouldn't be there. Very quickly, just some channel news. What I've done, I've actually changed the channel logo, and I've changed it from this to this. And to celebrate what I've done, I've made some cups. I've made 3 of them to give away to 3 lucky subscribers over the next 3 videos. In this first video, what you need to do is leave a comment, and you might be lucky to win. It doesn't matter whether you leave 10,000 comments, only 1 name per entry. So everybody that leaves a comment will be actually put into the draw, and in the next video we're going to go and find out who won that cup, and a very good looking cup, I do believe myself. So if you're interested, please leave a comment, and you've got a very good chance of actually owning this cup. Good luck to each and every one of you. You're looking at a picture that was taken on the 11th of November 2019. My wife comes in with a strange look upon her face. She says, Nige, you really need to go outside, have a look at the sky, see what you think. I go trotting outside and look up. I go straight back in and grab a camera and take a picture. Well, not so much a camera, my mobile phone. But what's the difference nowadays? Technology, wonderful thing. We're looking at something that really shouldn't be in the sky. I'm looking at skies that have changed over a period of about 5 or 6 years. People take what we're looking at for granted. It just happens each day, and people have become immune looking at a sky that from an alien planet. I think that's the best way of describing it. Alien skies. What we need to do to answer what we're looking at is be very, very logical. Like I've said in the past, logic will win. So the way to answer what we're looking at is very, very simple. Somebody left a great big plastic bag full of grapes on those clouds, and hence why we've got this picture. It is something that shouldn't exist. How things are changing very, very slowly, and people are taking no notice and saying, well, there's nothing wrong. But what we've actually got to remember is the reasons behind why we're getting this is much more serious. It's not a joke in whatsoever. There's objects coming towards us and it's changing our world in many different ways. We could go through the list, and we will be in a different video. But what I've always said, there's going to be a mass distraction before this event actually occurs. 8 million people running and screaming around on the streets because they've seen something in the sky is going to be a bad day for the world's governments. So that distraction is already here, is it not? You need to pay attention to what's going on very, very carefully, because I'm just saying there's more to this, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, than meets the eye. Don't take this as a joke, because this is very deadly serious, and I mean in the word deadly, because the ramifications of this whole thing and what's happening and the control that's going to be put in place is going to be quite interesting, to say the least. At any rate, what do I know? Don't be scared, be prepared, because preparedness really is power. At least you'll have something when everybody else has got nothing. We're about 12 minutes into the video, and I'm sure you've got better things to be doing with your lives than sitting here listening to me talk about absolute rubbish that couldn't absolutely be any way, shape or form true, because our world governments would have told us now, wouldn't they? Of course they would. I'm going to catch you on the next video, and I really appreciate each and every one of you taking your time to listen to me. Much love, much peace, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Take care. Be safe.